And the big story, of course, Antonio Brown storming off the field shirtless yesterday in Tampa Bay's come from behind victory over the New York Jets. And then, Rob, I don't know if you saw this part, releasing is it a rap song in the car? Anybody else know about it? He released like a song on his way away from the studio.
I'm sure to the airport because he wasn't riding home with them.
No, he didn't go home with the team. But here's Bruce Arians or Tom Brady first, and then Bruce Arians, the head coach, talking about it.
Obviously, a difficult situation, and I think we all want him to just. I think everybody should find, hopefully do what they can to help him in ways that, he really needs it.
You've been someone that's expressed genuine care and concern for Antonio. How tough was it for you to see what happened yesterday and to make that call?
Yeah, it's very hard. And I wish him well. I hope if he needs help, get some. And it's very hard because I do care about him.
Yeah. So he says. This is a bad situation. And sometimes, Chris, you got to be the toughest love to give somebody is when you stop them and you just won't let them. You won't be an enabler, and you have to let people get right and do the right thing before you keep throwing them a life preserver. And it's the hardest thing to do, especially if you have loved ones. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation with family or whatever, and you love somebody.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, and you love somebody, and you desperately want to help them, but you know deep down that if you help them, you're just going to be an enabler, and you're just going to continue to allow them to do what they're doing. And it takes you got to want it yourself, Chris. You can't help somebody who doesn't want help, and that's why I blame Bruce Arians and Tom Brady in this whole thing. I really do. Because Antonio didn't do what he was supposed to do in order for them. When you vouch, Tom Brady vouched for him, and it's not like he didn't have any other second chances, Chris. It's not like things didn't work out in Pittsburgh and things didn't work out with the Raiders or whatever. No, New England gave him a chance. That he couldn't even get through that. And yet they gave him yet another chance. And I get it. He played pretty well when he came back. They won a Super Bowl. It was a feel-good story, bring everybody back. But once he did what he did with the vaccination card, and it's not about whether or not he wanted to be vaccinated. That's not what I'm crucifying him for. It's the deceit and the idea that you could put other people at risk. I think that tells you about a person who's only about themselves and doesn't care about anybody else. And that's a scary guy to have around. And that's what he did yesterday. It was about him. F the team. F the coach. F Tom Brady, who bent over backwards and let you stay with his family and this and that and anything to try to help you. Nobody mattered yesterday but him. But this is because they have been doing this for athletes and a guy who's so talented, and he is. I argue for anybody who would listen. Come on, man. This guy is as good as it gets. And you try to overlook some of the shortcomings because everybody's not perfect and people aren't all the same, Chris. And some people are wired differently. I told you before, Rasheed Wallace is wired differently. I love that dude covering that dude. But he was wired differently. And the people who understood Rasheed Wallace and work with him, and he's not on an A-B level. Do you know what I'm saying, Chris?
Right.
But he's a different cat. Would you agree with me? He's a different
he
cat.
had some issues.
Right.
He had some issues.
But if you understood him and could work with him, he was the greatest guy to be around. And in AB's case, I just thought they went too far. And they allowed him to sabotage everything that they had tried to get for him, and only because they kept saying, oh, it's okay. Well, it's all right. It's okay. Yeah, well, okay. We know AB. Yeah, well, it's okay. And that's why I think, and I'm not exonerating AB at all, but if you were to ask me to pick the order of the people who are to blame for this, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, and AB.
Wow. I completely disagree with that. I mean, you can talk some of what you said. Yeah, I'm down with your views on enabling. You shouldn't do that. But there's one person to blame. And it's Antonio Brown.
Did you see this? AB is at the Nets game.
Yeah, I mean, he is what he is. Look, he's to blame. You are responsible for your own actions. Period. I don't care if somebody enabled you. I don't care. Like, people have gone through all types of issues in life. Some people have been abused. Some people have been traumatized. And those are sad, sad stories. And we want to get them help however we can. But you may have been traumatized at some point. But when you're an adult, I still got to hold you accountable for your actions. Just because you were traumatized as a child or something, I'm not going to excuse you traumatizing somebody else when you're in a power position or you're able to do that. I'm just not. We can't run a society like that. So Antonio Brown, yeah, if you want to say Brady and Arians enabled him, fine. But he ultimately is to blame for this, period, the end. He can't. And as far as here's the thing. I don't even blame AB. He was wrong. I don't know what, Arians and Brady brought him in, and like you said, Brady was the driving force. He helped them win a Super Bowl. And he was fine last year by all reports. So that worked out. This year he came back, and the vaccination scam was terrible.
Felony.
This is all I'm saying, Rob. Who gets hurt from what Antonio Brown did yesterday? Nobody but Antonio Brown. Now, if he hurt some people in that organization, in that locker room, if you found out he really abused some people, messed some people up or whatever, then I look at Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and say, see, you brought this clown into our organization, you vouched for him, and he hurt somebody. He didn't hurt anybody.
Chris, he
hurt himself.
You cannot be
Who
more
did he hurt,
wrong.
Rob? Who did he hurt?
He hurt Bruce Arians and he hurt Tom Brady.
Hurt their
you just
feelings?
said it. No,
hurt their feelings?
They vouched for this man because they believed in him. And if Antonio Brown,
they made a mistake.
Okay, no, he didn't make a mistake because he made a mistake 4 years ago.
You never vouched for somebody that was wrong?
No, I'm talking about considering his role. This wasn't the first misstep after Chris, the first misstep after Pittsburgh.
But who
this is
got
not
hurt,
the first.
Rob? Tell me who got hurt.
I'm trying to tell you, Tom Brady, who vouched for him, and Bruce Arians, who went against his own word.
How were they hurt?
Chris,
their
credibility in being able.
Tom Brady doesn't have any credibility.
No,
now.
their credibility in vouching for someone and having you believe that they had a handle on AB and that they knew what was in this guy.
Handle on him.
Yeah, because
you can't have a handle on another adult.
Yeah, because they thought, dude, if we give him this chance, he's going to be good. He's a great athlete. He's a great receiver. This is going to be good for Tampa Bay.
Are they the only ones? Robert Kraft did it. Bill Belichick did it. John Gruden did it. Mark Davis did it. A lot of people gave this dude a chance and vouched for him.
And what did they do?
They got a Super Bowl out of it.
What did they do as soon as he showed them that he hadn't changed, Chris? What did they do? They cut bait. That's what Tampa Bay didn't do. No, Tampa didn't cut bait
yesterday.
No, after the vaccination hoax, after the misstep, after they made the organization look stupid, after Bruce Arians stuck his chest out and told people, oh no, AB's good. We did our due diligence. That report is phony. Yes, he stood up there and told people that they were wrong and he was right and Bruce Arians was wrong.
I had a family member who was wayward. Okay. And one of my college teammates was president of a college, a university. And he took my wayward family member in and brought him to the school and let him go to school. All he had was a GED. And my family member went down there and acted a fool. Never graduated, got kicked out. That ain't on me. We gave you a chance, you blew it. It's on you. My boy ain't looking at me like, how in the world could you say? We tried to give the dude a chance. And he made bad decisions. That's on him. I don't feel any like, oh my gosh, I got no credibility. I tried to give the dude a chance. I showed some compassion.
Or 8 chances?
No, I've given him a lot of chances. This dude's done a lot of mess.
In that circumstance.
In that school, they gave him a lot of chances too.
Okay.
He was there like 2.5 years. All right. I'm just saying, again, had Antonio Brown gone into that organization and with his track record, let's call it what it is, abused a woman or something like that, then I'll be looking at Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and coming down hard on them. Only person got hurt yesterday is Antonio Brown. That's it. Tom Brady is fine. Bruce Arians is fine. If you want to say the football team's not as good, okay. But had they cut him 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they wouldn't have been as good then. That's all I'm saying is Antonio Brown is the one looking like an idiot. Nobody else.